Welcome everyone inside the Dartmouth Curling Club for the 2018 Nova Scotia Men's and Women's Provincial Championships. It is the Deloitte Tankard. This afternoon's draw number 3, it's Team Dacey versus Team Kendall Thompson. Vince Williams here alongside my broadcast partner Chris Mosier. It's going to be an exciting game. Both of these teams come into today's actions this afternoon 2-0, and something's got to give, Chris.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a loser here this afternoon, unfortunately. But starting off, it's going to be a great game because I think both teams are going to put lots of rocks in play. Great for viewing. So it should be great viewing this afternoon.
So Team Dacey, the skip, Mark Dacey, the lead, Luke Saunders, the second, Steve Burgess, the third, Andrew Gibson, and for Team Thompson, that's Kendall Thompson. There's 2 Thompsons in this competition, and this afternoon is Kendall Thompson. The skip is Kendall Thompson, of course. The lead, Jarrett Brown. The second, Brendan Lavelle, and the third, Bryce Everest.
So we're on our way in the in this draw. Mark has the hammer, and Mark elected to put up the corner guard, and Kendall put 2 rocks in the back of the forefoot. Looks like we're just playing a hit here to start out.
Yeah, both of these teams probably going to try to feel each other out in this one in the first end, you would imagine.
I would think so, but, Mark likes to have lots of rocks in play, so we may see him go right at it here. So we'll see how it goes.
And speaking a little bit about Mark, both of these teams from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax. Mark, give it a little bit of the keys of Team Dacey.
So Mark's been around for a while. He's a world bronze medalist. Back in, I believe it was 2004, but he's represented Nova Scotia on numerous occasions for the Nova Scotia Tankard, Saskatchewan, and he's a mixed champion as well. So lots of experience there with Mark, and he likes to play aggressive.
And as you can see, right on the forefoot there, we have Thompson lying one inside. Dacey does have the hammer.
So it does look like we may not start off as aggressive as I was thinking. They're just playing the wide open end here so far, but it's still early in the end. The ice has been really good here, so and everybody started out with a 9-minute practice before the game, so they're pretty well up to speed on how the ice is after throwing lots of draws.
They say the ice is playing pretty straight.
It has been straight, yeah. There's a little bit of finish coming off the center line, which is nice. I didn't see this sheet too much before, but I saw the other 2.
Sheet D.
So our other feature game this afternoon, which is going to be broadcast on 5TB1, is Greg Power and Team Murphy, and they're in the first end. The other 2 games are Team Mike Fleming and Stuart Thompson, and we've got Chad Stevens playing Brent McDougall. So we'll give random updates as the afternoon progresses and all the other scores.
So stick with us, folks. It's definitely going to be a dandy this afternoon. As,
so you can see
most of these teams well within the tournament, so not a lot of feeling out left and not a lot of time for them not to get wins and losses. So wins and losses are very crucial right now.
So we just made a good come around there behind that corner guard that Mark threw up, and it looks like Team Thompson is going to try to come down, maybe sit on it, or maybe give it a little bump back.
And here it comes. Looks like the line's pretty good here.
It looks pretty good. You can see when the weight starts to come off, it just goes sideways coming off the center line, which is great.
Sneaks around the guard. Oh, just a little bit of a rub there, so a little bit too much curl there, Chris.
A little bit too much, yeah. So a little bit of an opportunity for Mark. He's going to try to split the rings. It's a good opportunity there for Mark to get a deuce out of it. A couple good shots.
An open opportunity for Team Dacey. They do have the hammer. Line 1 in the 8. And this is the third, Andrew Gibson.
Just wants to sit in the right where Mark's tapping his broom there. I can't really see it, but you'll see it just in the 8 foot there, just so he doesn't create any sort of a double for Team Thompson.
It's looking like it's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So you're going to see Kendall, he just try to hit it right in the nose, become shot rock.
Bryce Everest, a third on Team Kendall. Excuse me, Thompson. Probably going to do that once or twice here with Stewart and Kendall, the brothers, the Thompson brothers in the competition.
I don't believe that game wasn't streamed yesterday, but the two brothers played one another, and I'm sure that was a little stressful for the parents.
I would imagine. I would imagine. Tension was very high here at the Dartmouth Curling Club for sure.
So Andrew's just trying to hit this again on the nose.
See if we can hit this and stick. Good line, good weight, and pretty good execution.
So as these keep hitting them on the nose and slowly working our way up from the tee line, could create a double situation, but it's a pretty long,
tough.
It's a pretty long double at this point, yeah.
It's a pretty tough. Is that you can see that second yellow stone laying to the far right of your screen there. It's going to be a very difficult shot to get the double on.
Yeah.
It's going to have to take some good line and some extra velocity. When you come with velocity, you got to make sure that it's got to be pretty accurate.
You got to be very accurate, especially with it being a little straighter. When you throw the bigger weight, it's very straight.
So first stone for the skip, Kendall Thompson.
So that one, I don't know if it drifted out a little bit.
And he got a little bit of trying to get it out at the back of the house. Just got it out, though.
So now Mark's got a couple options. He may try to come in behind that one again, but I think you'll probably see him go to the open side. So sometimes a little bit of guessing what the skips or the teams are calling, because we got to go with what they're signaling. We're not getting their voice, so sometimes that makes it a little challenging. But
so I would imagine, Chris, right now, Kendall's probably hoping that he's going to concede that one to get the hammer back. But in regards to giving up two, is probably not the ideal situation he wants right now.
Well, I think he's probably hoping that Mark's a little light on his draw, or maybe a little heavy, and that would give him an opportunity to make a play on that yellow one in the rings.
Right.
Because if Mark puts it in here nice, and it does look like he's going to the open side, Kendall will be looking at giving up a deuce here.
Dacey, the veteran, 51 years old. And he's got a plethora of championships.
He does. We could read here all day.
We could be all day listing off the amount of championships and medals he's won nationally and internationally for Nova Scotia as well as Canada.
Yeah, so that was a great shot. Kendall's just going to try to come down and hit it.
So the last throw for the skip, Kendall Thompson. It's early in this one. Team Kendall Thompson, Team Dacey. We're in the first end. Sheet D here at the 2018 Nova Scotia Men's and Women's Provincial Championships. It's the Deloitte Tankard. Vince Williams and Chris Mosier here with the call.
We're located at the Dartmouth Curling Club down on 15 Canal Street, so swing by and Vince and I will sign autographs, but you could probably more want to listen and watch the curling, but you can sit down behind the glass, or there's an upstairs and a downstairs, and I see some people sitting outside on the ice floor.
Lots of opportunity here to catch all the action this evening and this coming week into the weekend. Single entry is $5, and the event passes are $30.
So Kendall just rolled out there, so this gives an opportunity anywhere in the rings, and Mark will get a deuce. So he just made this shot, and anticipate he'll probably make it again.
Would imagine.
It's hard to say, though. Never know. Nerves are pumping a little bit. We want your deuce, but
an opportunity to go up 2-0 here in the first end, and here it comes. Working it a little bit there, trying to get the right weight. Line looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. They're just a little bit on and off, so that's usually a good sign.
And that's a great shot.
Hands are going up. It'll be 2-0 for Mark after the first one, after the first end.
So a pretty good start there for Team Dacey, up 2-0. After the first end, as you mentioned, at the beginning there, it looked like they were just kind of feeling each other out, and then that opening happened for Team Dacey, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, that one corner guard that he started out with worked out perfectly for him, and looks good. So the other, we seem to be ahead, which is great. So once the other ends finish up, we'll give you an update.
So we're in the second end here, and
Luke Saunders' first rock. Luke's got a little bit of a name behind him. His mother's the legendary Colleen Jones, and his father's Scott Saunders. So they've been around the curling world for a few years.
Yeah, you definitely. If you love curling and you don't know these names are synonymous with curling in Nova Scotia, and synonymous with curling in Canada and at the international stage. Colleen Jones, well representing Nova Scotia and carrying the flag for many years.
Many years. She's actually the defending seniors champion, world champion right now. She won last year.
So Saunders' first throw at the back of the house. And the first throw here for Team Dacey. The lead, it's Team Thompson. Get me on the wrong track. Jarrett Brown. As they warm up, we get warmed up here in the booth.
We'll have their names down pat by the end.
So Browns.
So he just threw up the corner guard again. So we'll see if that corner guard comes into play at this end as well as it did the last end.
And what do you think about the strategy of these two teams? We're only in the second end. Kind of hard to tell right now where this is going to go, but I mean, Team Thompson can't allow Team Dacey a steal in this end.
No, I don't think so. He'll be either trying to get his deuce for sure or blank. And both teams here, I mean.
But is he pressured to get the deuce? Or is he going to pressure himself? It's early. It's only the second end. There's lots of curling left.
You're right. It's a long game. So the first end, second end, keep it close the first few ends and see where it goes. You definitely want to be remotely close after the fifth end and see where it goes. But, I mean, both teams here, their strategy is they're both professionals. And Kendall, he's been around the game for a long time. I believe Kendall's he's a Nova Scotia champion as well. 2011 junior champion, played with his brother Stuart. So, I mean, and Kendall and Stuart, when they're always right in the finals or pretty close to it. So I suspect this is going to be a great game. So Kendall's just elected to hit the yellow rock in the rings.
Looking to clear that shot. That was a terrific shot by Saunders in his last throw. A good throw there as well by Brown. And the second now for Team Dacey. Steve Burgess.
Steve's from New Brunswick, so he's kind of an import for from New Brunswick for Team Dacey. And that's a rule they changed a couple years ago, that each team could bring in somebody from an outside province. And, you usually see a team or two every year try to do that.
Right. And his first throw coming down.
Rolls to the wings.
Able to clear that. Bluestone, as you mentioned, Burgess coming in as a spare. The three of them, three as in Saunders and Gibson and Dacey. Both of these, all three of these individuals have played with each other in tournaments this year. It's the first year with Luke and Andrew and Mark growing together for many years. They qualified for the 2017 championships at the Greenwood qualifier. And they won a spiel, the cash spiel that is, the 2017 Dave Jones Mayflowers cash spiel. So
a little bit of a miss. Just looking to go in behind that corner guard there. Just rubbed it, rolled it to the open. So Mark's going to just hit and roll a little bit over to the 12-foot there. Mark. Kendall wants to leave the 4-foot open for his last rock, ideally, right? He's got the hammer, so
right.
he wants to leave that 4-foot open, that red circle per se in the middle there. This one seems to be curling a little bit more. He tapped to the open side, but didn't quite get the roll he was hoping for, and took the one out at the back. He's probably not horribly upset about that. Sometimes those rocks in the back of the rings can be catchers, and they can be more trouble than they're worth.
Still lying two, though.
Yep.
And we have the first throw in the second end for Team Kendall Thompson, and it's Bryce Everest, the third for the team. Thompson, here it comes. They like the line, they like the weight. And a good run back there.
Couldn't get the roll into the guard I think he was hoping for, but so this poses a bit of a, if Mark hits it, he won't be in the rings here, so he's going to want to try to hit and possibly flop behind that guard so he can get in play. I don't know if he can. It's hard to tell sometimes. The camera distorts it a little bit, but if he can hit and roll in behind, or he's going to roll to the open side.
And what would be the easier play? It wouldn't matter with the experience of such as Mark Dacey and his team.
Well, obviously Mark wants to make the other team's shots a little harder, so I think you're going to see him just try to go to the open wing here. And that's exactly what he did. He's just trying to hold it on the edge of the 12. Unfortunately, it didn't. It just rolled out of play.
Too heavy there off the head. Still line one, just on the edge of the 8.
Kendall's going to try to bring this corner guard into play here.
A little bit of a discussion there about the strategy. And here it comes.
This is Bryce's second stone of the second end. I think his weight was pretty close to last time. Maybe just might have gave him a little bit more ice. You can see now, once it comes off that center line, it's going to start to go pretty good.
Really working it now. Trying to get that right on the edge. Sneak it around that guard.
It's a pretty good shot, I think.
That is an excellent shot.
So I would say pretty close to buried.
So a pretty good shot there, lying in the 8 there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little tough shot to pick out. I think Andrew's definitely there for Andrew.
You see just a little bit though.
Just a little bit,
guard.
yeah. There's lots of movement there, so if they can hold it on that center line for a while and then just let it go at the end.
Gibson's first throw.
It's another great shot. The looks of
Yes,
things.
coming around the guard there. Nice hit and roll, and Will it stick? Absolutely.
Perfect.
Beautiful shot there by Andrew Gibson. The third for Team Dacey. Team Dacey leading 2-0 in the second end, but it's Team Kendall Thompson with the hammer.
Looks like Kendall's going to try a new opportunity here. He's going to try to freeze on that yellow one on the right-hand side. Hoping for a jam if Mark makes a play on it. This is sometimes referred to one of the tougher shots in the game because your weight's got to be perfect. And with the weight that these teams can throw, I mean, they can, two rocks that are almost froze together.
It's really curling, though.
It is.
Like a little bit of a tap rub, but that's not a bad shot.
That's not bad at all, right? It's still in front of the yellow one there, and it could jam. So as we wait for Mark to go down the ice, just a quick update there. After the first end, Mike Fleming is up 2-0 over Stuart Thompson, and Murphy is up 2-0 over Power, and Stevens is up 2-0 over McDougall. So it was two straight across all the sheets.
So Team Dacey with the hammer here on sheet D. Vince Williams, Chris Mosier with the call at the Dartmouth Curling Club. 2018 Nova Scotia Men's and Women's Provincial Championships. This is the Deloitte Tankard. First throw for Mark Dacey, the skip.
Mark's got some heat on this one. Luke is trying to keep it straight as he can.
Gets the hit.
Oh, good shot.
Can it stay on the edge? Just goes out the edge there. So good execution getting the shot out of the house, but what do you think about the weight? Just a little bit too much there, or?
It did seem like it might have been a little bit of extra weight there. He obviously would have liked to hang his shooter around. Mm-hmm. Gives Kendall a bit of an opportunity here. He's probably going to hit it on the nose. And unless it's a complete miss by Mark, you might see Kendall try to blank this end.
Which will carry over to the third, and Kendall will remain with the hammer. But Team Dacey does have the hammer in this end. Line one in the house. Final throw here for the skip, Kendall Thompson. Really asking for it. And here it comes.
Just trying to keep it straight at this point. Wants to leave it way out in the open.
Gets the hit and sticks in the 12. So the only opportunity now is making sure Mark gets the hit.
Yeah, Mark's going to want to hit it right on the nose. Just stick there. And then either Kendall's going to, he's going to try to peel it out, I think, if that's the case, mm-hmm. and blank this end. Move on to the third and hope for better things. Mark's just going through his pre-shot routine there. Every player has one, and everybody's is slightly different.
I would imagine there's a few superstitions in this game.
There's a few. You know, some people don't like to change their socks or whatever the case might be.
Dacey's last throw here with the hammer.
Just trying to hold it straight again.
Excuse me. His last throw, Thompson has the hammer.
Right on the nose.
It's a pretty good shot there. So now it's up to Kendall. In this situation, you look for the point, or you look to carry this hammer over?
I'd be trying to blank. It's too early in the game. Maybe if it was later in the game and you were trying to change things up or something, but this early, I think he's definitely trying to blank. I'd be surprised if he's not trying to blank at this point. And that's one thing about this game is so much different strategy. And, you know, I may have an opinion that's my opinion, that what I would do, but somebody else is probably thinking, well, you know what, I think I'd play that a little different. But so
here it comes. That's exactly what he was doing.
Yep,
you can see from that line, you can see the way it was curling. He was looking to carry this one over, and exactly good execution there by the skip, Kendall Thompson, as they carry it over to the third. But he is trailing 2-0. The team Dacey here in the third draw on sheet D at the Dartmouth Curling Club in the picturesque. We're in picturesque downtown.
We are.
Dartmouth near the King's Wharf.
I live on the other side of the bridge, so I don't come to this side too much. Not that I don't like this side. I just find most of the things are on that side that I attend, and it's really nice. Downtown Dartmouth's very nice, and the King's Wharf there is just an amazing spot down there right now.
And lots of history here at this Dartmouth Curling Club, the Majestic Curling Club, been around a long time. And that was the first throw there by the lead, Jarrett Brown.
No, that was Luke Saunders.
Luke Saunders, that is, for Team Dacey. I'll get these colors right. Did a pretty good job in the second end. So that's the only thing I mess up here. And the first one, this is the first zone by the lead, Jarrett Brown.
So
Thompson.
He's going to try to throw that corner guard again, I think. Hoping he can get some action around that corner guard.
Pretty good weight there. That's a pretty good shot there, Chris.
I think that's pretty good. Nice and tight. That's what he wants.
So Saunders' second throw coming.
Mark's tapping the center guard. So he's just going to try to... That one that Luke threw is in a perfect spot. Just in front of the button, in front of the tee line. Can't really freeze onto it for Kendall and get too much out of it. So if he can get Luke to throw up a nice center guard on top of that, be sitting pretty nice.
And here it comes. Pretty good weight there. Just trying to come around. Just a little bit of an opening there. Tough shot though, splitting these rocks though. If that rock does come into play later in this end.
Yeah, so it looks like Kendall, because he did come in, he can hit it. So it looks like Kendall's looking at possibly hitting it and then trying to roll behind his own blue guard there. And, he may even get lucky and clip that one on the forefoot as it's going by. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, haven't laid a broom to it yet. It's hanging pretty straight.
Like the line in the way. The 1, 2. Can it stay?
He did clip it, but he didn't have the weight, so he just pushed him to the back.
Trying to get, and they both managed to stay inside the house, just on the edge of the 12 and in the 8.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't what he was
I would imagine that's not the shot that they were anticipating before he threw that one. So
I thought he might have threw a little bit more weight on that, so I don't know if there was a miscommunication at some point or maybe that was just me. But
and now that stone is acting like a guard for Team Dacey.
It is. So
a little bit of an opening, I would say.
It is.
But it's kind of early in this end.
It's early. Mark doesn't want to take any chances. It looks like he's going to rip that guard and try to roll behind the corner guard himself.
First stone for Burgess. Gets the hit. A little bit of a roll here.
A little bit of kiss off that blue one as well. That was a pretty nice shot there.
Nevertheless, they have 3 lying in the house here for Team Dacey in this third end.
Kendall has the hammer, so the forefoot's still wide open, and that's what he's looking for. Looks like he's going to try to come around his corner guard. Every good skip should have button weight in his back pocket. That's easy to say for 2 guys sitting up here behind the glass. But I've got a son that's 13, and I keep telling him you have to be able to draw to the button anytime. And in his mind, he can. It's just his body that sometimes doesn't work out for him. So this looks like a pretty good shot here.
That is a pretty good shot. Comes around the guard, sneaks it around. That's a excellent shot as it lies in the 8 there. So
I think that's completely buried. A couple options for Mark there. He could try to rip the guard off, run his own yellow one back. But based on the ice, it looks like he's going to try to run that yellow one back onto the blue one.
And how difficult is this shot, Chris, from this vantage point?
Well, it's not an easy shot by no means. I mean, it's pretty straight there, so you can see he's taken almost no ice, and that's pretty much where he wants to hit it, right where the broom is. So if he can hit it right where the broom is.
And here it comes. Burgess' second throw.
Luke is hammering it pretty hard.
And that's an excellent shot as he was able to run that back, but he does take one of his own stones out. But it is line 2, though, on the 12th.
You can see Kendall try that again. He's coming behind. So it's Kendall's not in a bad spot here. He's got a corner guard. He's got one in the back of the 8-foot there. So even though Yellow's sitting 2, Kendall's not in horrible shape here. So just trying to come in behind that blue one again. This one, they haven't laid a broom to it yet.
It's a good weight from Lavelle. Second for Team Thompson. He's trying to sneak that around the guard. It's coming. Coming. Will it stay in the house? And that's an excellent shot.
It's a good shot, yeah. It's not shot, but that's okay. It's pretty much behind the guard. It's a little deeper back, so it might make the run back a little harder. You might see Mark try to come around it and just pick it out.
Team Thompson, they do have the hammer on this third end, but they are trailing. This is the first throw of the third end for Andrew Gibson, Team Dacey.
You can see how it hangs on that center line. Now it's starting to break, starting to come off now.
He sneaks it around, gets the hit and the roll, and sticks it in the house. So
good shot.
It's not a bad shot there by Gibson on his first throw.
Kendall's looking at another option. He's looking at trying to freeze now to that back blue one there on the right-hand side of your screen. Just trying. He's kind of hoping for a little bit of a miss from the Dacey team, and they've been pretty solid so far.
Pretty good throws. Not a lot of openings for Team Thompson.
No, they're not. They're really putting the pressure on them.
First throw here for Bryce Everest, Team Thompson. Looking for a little bit of speed here, a little bit of curl. Line looks good, though.
Looks pretty good, yeah. Just watching it come down there. This is looking pretty good.
Not bad.
Might be a little bit heavy.
Little hit, and he sticks it. It's just in front.
Looks like Mark is tapping the hit and make it go away. Andrew's second shot stone.
That is correct. Here it comes. Lots of speed on this one. Looking for the hit. Gets the hit. Knocks out his own and keeps that blue stone inside the 12-foot.
So that's what he was looking for. He was looking for a jam of some sort, and he got it. Now, it's hard to tell from this angle. Yellow is definitely shot one, but I'm not sure who the second shot stone is. It might be blue.
If it is, it's by inches from this vantage point.
So it looks like Kendall's going behind that guard, and it's not a bad situation because he's got that yellow one back there. He could nestle up to that yellow one behind the guard there. He might be sitting okay here. He's not too concerned about that one and then wide open. He's looking at that as his last shot.
This is Everett's final stone here in his third end. They're really trying to work it here. He's coming around. He's coming around.
I think it's looking pretty good.
Sneaks around the guard. He can just get a little bit more there, and
that looks pretty good.
That's not a bad shot there, Chris.
Not completely buried, but probably less than half, maybe about half is on.
Just peeking a little bit, as you can see on the screen.
So you can see Andrew and They're all looking to see who is number 2 at this point, or number 3, I guess. Number 2 is the yellow in the back of the 4, or back of the 8 foot there, and the 12. Still don't know. It's a hard look from here.
From here, and I would imagine it's a little bit, probably extra difficult for them as well.
Yeah, they've looked a few times, so it must be pretty close. So as Mark, looks like Mark's going to try to pick that blue one out.
Mark Dacey with his first throw.
Mark could pick that and then just even roll over to the right-hand side of the sheet. Anywhere's there around the tee line, and they were sitting 1 and 2. It's going to be a force for Kendall. So we'll see what happens here.
Dacey, 2004 Brier champion, won bronze at the Worlds in that year.
His 6 Brier appearances. It's pretty good.
It's not bad. Here's his first throw.
Just coming down there nice. I think it's looking pretty good.
Good line. Curling just a little bit. Hits the hit, and he gets it out. So good shot there by that first throw by Dacey as he leaves that one in the 4 foot.
So it looks like Kendall's going to try to just hit it and hopefully not jam on his own back there and roll over behind that corner guard again. He'd like to be shot out of this, ideally, if he could be.
So what the strategy right now? You're up 2-0, your team, Dacey. You're thinking, I'm trying to go for the steal, but I also want to try to get the hammer back.
Yeah, so Dacey is at this point, I think Dacey is either hoping for a mittful because he's got a few in there. So essentially to get that, he's almost have a miss by Kendall Thompson. But if not, he'd be happy to force Kendall to 1 at this point, right? So and then he would have the hammer back again. Ideally, when you have the hammer, you get your 2, and when you don't, you either steal or force the other team to 1. So this one seems to be hanging pretty straight. Oh, no, geez.
Just a little bit of a curl. It gets the hit. Will it stick?
Get over for it.
No, it's going to hang around on the 8 foot there.
So that was a good shot.
That's a pretty good shot there by the skip, Kendall Thompson.
It's going to be, doesn't look like Mark's going to try to do anything with it. I think he's just going to try to draw in there now and out-count those. So it looks like right now yellow or blue is 1. Mark's going to try to come down, just sit probably around the tee line around it, just to take away any sort of a pick opportunity.
Just trying to concede that 1. Not give up any more than that to get the hammer back, I would imagine.
Yep.
Mark Dacey going through his pre-throw ritual.
I think Luke must be in charge of sweeping or cleaning the path before Mark sweeps because he's always out there cleaning. He's a big cleaner at home. This is Mark's last one of the third end.
And here it comes.
On-off is usually a good sign.
Burgess is really working it there.
Does seem to be over a little ways. It's starting to come now.
It's looking good. Just trying to sneak and hold there in the 4 foot. And he draws in there. So not a bad throw there by Dacey.
No, he didn't quite get behind the guard as much maybe as he wanted to. So what Kendall's looking at here is obviously he wants his 1. Really like 2. But I think he'd really like the 3. So if he could anyway get to that back one, if he could over curl and clip that back yellow one going by, he might be able to get a 3 out of it. But definitely want to get his 1 here for sure. Well, anything after that is bonus.
Tell you what, if he can get both of those Yellowstones out somehow, this would be probably the shot of the match thus far.
Based on the amount of ice that he's taken, I'm going to guess he's just trying to get maybe half a rock on the yellow one, push it across the top of the blue one in the back of the rings, and get his deuce and tie it up. Well, let's see what happens here.
And here it comes. Thompson with the hammer.
A little bit on and off.
He is instructing it all the way down.
Communication is huge in this sport.
Gets the hit.
Oh,
Bang,
he did it.
And he did it.
I think there's a 3 spot there.
Outstanding. Bang, bang, knocking out both of those yellow stones. Now it's going to come down to the measurement for the other two. As you can see on the screen there, that yellow and blue stone on the 12-foot. He's got 2 for sure.
So are they going to do a measure? Or keep looking at it.
Man, how important is this?
My gut is if you have to look at it more than once, that you
got to bring somebody out to make a ruling on it.
Yeah.
We might see an umpire, an official here, take a look at his measurement. Those are too close to call from this distance.
Yeah, no, I just I saw Andrew give the signal, so I see the umpire walking down the side of the sheet now. So he's going to go do a measure. And he played that really nice. He had a nice quiet weight.
Yeah.
I thought he might have tried it a little more weight, but he played that perfectly and got the deuce. And
excellent shot. Yeah. Excellent shot by Thompson. And I was just about to ask you before he threw that final shot, how much pressure, to make this shot. We're still in the third end. How much pressure is to try to pick up the 3 instead of just laying off and just taking maybe or 2?
I think the third point is if he gets it is definitely a bonus. And but obviously he wanted his deuce. The third is I'm not saying it's not huge, because every point at this level is huge, really. Absolutely. Because, it is a game of inches, and it's so hard.
Well, we can see it's definitely a game of inches. The honor system went out the window.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
They need a ruling, accurate ruling here.
I think it might be yellow.
And Dacey does sneak it in, so
it's tied up after 3 ends of play.
Nevertheless, that was an excellent shot by the skip, Kendall Thompson, on his final throw in that third end. And you mentioned we are knotted up here. Team Dacey and Team Thompson. That's Kendall Thompson. As both of these teams come into this match 2-0. And one of these teams are going to be faced with their first defeat. So we'll move on to the fourth end here. Sheet D, the 2018 Nova Scotia Curling Provincial Championships for men's and women's. This is the Deloitte Tankard. Vince Williams and Chris Mosier with the call.
Just an update on the other sheets there. If Stewart and Mike Fleming, they're tied up after 2. It is 2-1 for Murphy over Greg Power after 2 ends. And it's 3-0 for Stevens over McDougall after 2 ends.
So the first stone there for Team Kendall, and that was Jarrett Brown. Looks like it might have been a little heavy. They've been playing the guard.
He would,
much on their first stone.
But so now Kendall, they've got the hammer. So they were looking to put this one in the rings, probably the 4-foot, 8-foot, 4-foot. And now you're going to see Luke probably throw up the corner guard. And Mark's out there tapping, I think, so that's what he's looking for.
He's standing right there. Dacey, that is. First throw for Luke Saunders, the lead for Team Dacey. All tied up here in the fourth end. That's not a bad first throw.
No, that's good. As we kind of see as this game goes on, the last 2 ends, or last 3 ends really, that corner guard seems to be the rock that's generating that extra point if they can get it right.
Dictating the offense for both sides.
Yeah, so strategy has switched a little bit now. Kendall's, he's going to look to throw up center guard. I think that was what he tapped. He may even come down and sit on top of it, but rock's coming down the sheet now. Boys are kind of backed off a little bit, so it might be a little bit warm.
Brown. They like the weight.
Didn't seem to get the curl that he was hoping for, so That's I kind of consider that a little bit of a miss. Yeah, because at this point, Mark can pretty much hit that top blue one on the nose and probably get the double, maybe just a little on the inside.
As you can see, a little bit of frustration in the back of the host there by the skip Kendall Thompson. Usually if you see that, that's pretty much a sign.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
Yeah. Not completely happy. And this is Saunders' final throw in this end. And he gets the double takeout.
Moves everything out of play.
That's a beautiful shot there for Saunders. So
sometimes they're nice and rewarding, right? You move a lot of granite around. So Kendall's looks like he's going to rip that guard. He's not wasting anything. He's going to open it right up. He may try to
He's got good line and good weight. It looks like it's bang on here. A little bit of a rub and a take on a peel.
Exactly what he called for there.
Yeah. Some good quality shots.
Oh, no, very good shots.
Being made by both of these sides, Chris.
Very much so. Nobody's really missing, and there's been no real picks or anything, so the ice is good, and the play is great for viewing. Come down and join us at Dartmouth Curling Club. There's still lots of seats out in the ice. And I think it's actually not too bad out there. Nobody's looks too bundled up. A couple guys with short sleeve shirts on, so that's never bad.
No, not at all.
So another corner guard for Dacey.
That was the first throw there for Burgess.
It's going to be interesting to see if Kendall tries to pick that off again. And he looks like he's gonna. So based on what I'm seeing here, we could be headed for a blank end.
This is Brendan Lavelle. Pretty good weight, good line, good hit and peel.
So I'm just looking here. Brendan's got on here that he has 2 kids, Alexa, and Zach.
19 years of experience.
Yeah, and they're watching, hopefully, at home. So hi guys, if you're watching.
Hi to Marilyn and the kids, his wife.
No, his wife, right? The wife.
So the final stone for Burgess here in this fourth end.
So he's trying another corner guard. This time he's going to the other side. Figures that Kendall's got that side mapped out pretty good, so let's put it in a different spot. Hopefully, maybe he'll get hit it on the nose or a miss. Based on what I'm seeing, there hasn't been too many misses in this game.
No.
And that's good. That's what you want to see at this level.
Definitely quality shot making by both sides.
Yeah. I mean, you've got, these are 2 teams that are unbeaten. I mean, you've got teams that are even 0-2 here, but the games are so close, extra end. Great curling here this week.
Great execution. Hit and peel there.
So, up to Andrews Rocks. Looks like another guard. I'm feeling a blank coming.
Gibson's first throw, and here it comes. Looking for a little bit more speed here. Saunders and Burgess really giving it a little bit.
Mark is tapping in the 12-foot, so I think he's looking at trying to put this one in the rings, seeing what Kendall will do.
And that's not a bad shot.
Nope.
Just a little bit in, and it right around the tee. Nice shot there on the 12. That's exactly what he called for.
Yeah, so Kendall's going to just hit it and stick on the nose. Just trying to get it to stay straight there by sweeping it like that. And just a little bit of roll to the back of the 8-foot behind her. It's pretty good.
Not a bad shot. Not a bad shot at all.
So Mark's just going to try to hit it on the nose.
Gibson's last throw.
So they got directional sweeping per se. It makes a bit of a difference. So you can see Luke is trying to sweep it. So he's sweeping against the grain. And he's trying to keep it straight, and that's exactly what happened. He kept it straight right to the back of the 4-foot. Kendall's not wasting no time, rushing down the sheet. nice quick end like this, you can save some time on the clock.
Right.
So each team starts with 38 minutes of thinking time.
Now thinking time is very important when we get later in the stages, when we get closer to the 7th and 8th end.
Exactly.
You need that as much thinking time as possible because strategy and shot-making abilities come to the forefront at that time.
Yeah, so they'll want to bank as much thinking time as they can. So ideally you want to be somewhere around, probably around the 20-minute mark at the 5th end break.
First shot here for Kendall Thompson. A skip. The 4th end still tied 2-2. So Dacey with the hammer.
Looks pretty good. Just a little bit of movement there to move it over, just to give Mark something just a little bit different to shoot at. This is Mark's first rock.
And what do you think? Both of these teams, well, I would imagine Team Thompson looking for a blank end here. Or maybe concede that one, get that hammer back going into the 5th. Or
so Mark has the hammer, so Mark's at this point probably going to end up blank in the end because he'll be the last shooter. So, he's hoping, ideally. I mean, he's kind of hoping for a miss. There's no guards in play, so really that's all you're going to get is if there's a complete miss here.
Right.
Kendall wanted to play this end pretty much wide open, ripped off all the center guards or corner guards.
Was looking to try to get to that 5th end.
Yeah, so bank a little bit of time on the clock, settle in a little bit, and see where we go. So that rolled out. That gives Kendall the opportunity to basically put the rock anywhere in the rings he wants.
Right.
He's going to probably put it where he thinks Mark either may hit it on the nose or miss altogether. So if Mark was to hit it on the nose at this point, I mean, I guess you consider that a bit of a miss, just because then Mark's end up taking his one, and then the hammer falls back to Kendall Thompson. So just looking over there on sheet B, in the 3rd end, Fleming got a 3-ender, so it's 5-2 for Fleming over Stuart Thompson. Just
Kendall's last shot. And here it comes.
Definitely wants to put this in the rings. Just to force Mark to have to make a shot here.
Likes to wait. Definitely likes the line.
Pretty much where he called for it. Maybe a little deep, but
sticks around in the house there on the 12-foot.
Mark's just looking to peel this out, blank the end, and move on to the 5th end.
This was rather quick end after that.
It was very quick, yeah. Very few rocks in play. So
that 3rd end, a little bit of action, a little bit of strategy and shot making in that 3rd end.
Get to recoup, I guess.
Comes
Mark's last rock of the 4th end.
Lots of speed on this one. Saunders going to work with the brush. Perfect execution, a hit and peel. So we'll carry over to the 5th. Blank sheet on this 4th one, Chris. So you called it.
Yeah, I think we might see a few more rocks in play this end. That's my gut feeling, but I've been wrong before, maybe once or twice. You ask my wife, she'd probably say a lot more, but
the action seems to be in the odd ends.
It does.
For sure.
So as we move on, then they'll be really focused on who has the hammer in the 10th end. But it's a little early yet to be too concerned over that. It's a nice tight game. So it's the first rock of the 5th end.
Jarrett Brown, Team Thompson.
Skipper's coming out to help him out with this one a little bit. So I don't know if it's a little on the light side.
Yeah, they're really working it now, you can see.
Is that going to get over?
Just makes it over, sneaks over by the help of a skip there, Jared Thompson. As you could see, Kendall Thompson, excuse me, he was really going to work.
He was, yeah.
And had a chuckle at the end.
Always nice to see the skip sweep a little bit, right?
So the first throw here for Saunders, Team Dacey.
So I missed what is he going behind the guard? Let's see what handle he's got here when he lets it go. It looks like it looks like he's going to try to go behind the guard here. Mark's wants some rocks in play this end.
Line's not bad. All coming down to the weight now. It's definitely going to get around the guard there. Will it curl though?
Yeah, will it bury enough? It's lots of room past the guard. Starting to break now. Boys are hammering it pretty hard.
Not as much curl as he wanted there. We can see a little bit of daylight for the second throw for Brown.
Looks like Kendall Thompson's just going to try to either sit on top of it or give it a little bump back.
That's the last throw. He's a little unsure as he let that one go. Waits there. Is the line there? Look like we might have our first miss there.
Yeah.
And there it is.
It is. It just didn't. It hung really straight there, and it never budged.
Yeah.
So and he threw really down weight at it, but didn't get the break he was hoping for. So Mark's going to stick this one out in the open.
Yeah, you can just see there once Jarrett Brown let that one go. He was a little bit miffed if it was going to ever come around. See him looking at his broom right now.
The ice can be a little bit weight sensitive, so you up your weight a little bit and with a little extra weight, and it just doesn't seem to move. So we're just trying to stick this one here in the 8 foot, nice and wide open. Mark has the hammer.
Opportunity here for Saunders to bring this one around.
Mark's coming out to give him a little bit of a hand.
Line's good.
Maybe the skips are getting cold. Maybe that's why they're coming out to help him out. This is looking pretty good, I think.
Not a bad shot. Not a bad throw. The second throw by Saunders.
Good shot. No double opportunity really there.
Yes.
It's a pretty tough one anyways.
Line 2 in the house. One on the 12, one on the 8 foot.
So we're going to see Kendall try to get this out. Maybe if he could get to the inside, it'd be really nice. Let's see what happens here.
It's Brendan Lavelle's first throw in this 5th end. All tied up, 2-2. Good draw here between these two teams. Both of these teams coming into this one 2-0. Gets the hit. Peel. Can he sneak it out the back of the house?
Hold the shooter.
No. Just a little bit out of that 12-foot zone, but not a bad shot.
Not a bad shot.
Executed what he wanted.
No, opens up the front, so Mark's going to...
If he would have held that shooter, that would have been bonus, correct?
Oh, yeah. If he could have held that on a little bit. So Mark's going to go to the open side. So by going to the open side, he's trying to set up that there's no doubles and either try to force Kendall Thompson into taking a point. Or, sorry, lost my train of thought there. Mark's got the hammer, so he's trying to go to the wings and leave the center open. And there's no guard or no rocks behind the that one guard there.
Burgess' first throw.
Boys are just falling it down the sheet. I'm not sure if it's a little warm or... No, it's looking pretty good, I think.
Not bad. Looks like the execution is bang on there. It's just hangs around the 12, and that's not a bad shot there. First throw by Sneed Burgess.
Not bad at all. You're going to see Kendall try to hit that and roll in behind that guard. He wants to get his rock behind that guard to bring that guard that he threw in play. He would love to see to force Mark to a point here if he can't steal on the zone.
Second throw here by Brendan Lavelle. He's been pretty solid. Lavelle has.
Starting to go now.
And that's not a bad shot at all. He just keeps that around the 4 foot. Nice hit and roll in the 4 foot. A little bit of daylight though.
Yeah, a little bit open.
Not a bad shot, but he's forcing Team Dacey to make shots.
That's for sure, yeah. And that's the whole name of the game, right? You want to force that other team to have to make a shot. So Mark's going to try to get this, and he's going to look at trying to roll over that way now. He doesn't want to group his rocks together so he can get some sort of a double there.
Steve Burgess' last throw, this fifth end.
Boys haven't laid a broom to it yet.
Likes the line. Line looked good from here. Gets the hit and a little bit of a stick, so not a bad shot there by Burgess. The 2 seconds for these teams have been pretty solid there, Chris.
They've been very solid, yeah. I mean, I think both teams have been very solid at this point. You know, very few misses. So, and that's what we want to see at this level. They're all professional curlers. Probably not going to retire off their income as professional curlers at this point, but there's very few, I think, that anywhere in Canada or maybe even the world that do. But you know, we're curling to be at this level. I mean, they work all day, and then they're going to the club or going to the club at lunch or in the evenings to play games. They're traveling in the fall, all fall long to. Ooh, that was a good shot.
That's a really good shot there by Bryce Everest in his first throw in this fifth end.
Blue one or yellow one just stuck around there, so
didn't get the total result he was looking for. As you can see, the Yellowstone hanging around in the 12-foot. That's Team Dacey. Team Dacey throwing the yellow. Team Thompson throwing the blue. If you're just joining us, this is the fifth end of the Deloitte Tankard, and this is draw number 3. Both of these teams coming into this matchup 2-0. Kendall Thompson, the skip for Team Thompson, and Mark Dacey, the skip for Team Dacey. First throw of this fifth end, the third for Team Dacey, Andrew Gibson.
Just trying to stick that in the open over there somewhere is right on the tee line on the edge of the 8-foot, I believe.
That's a pretty good result there for Gibson.
It's pretty good.
So you can see Team Dacey lying 2 and inside the host. And they have the hammer in this fifth end.
He's just going to play the hit here.
Line looks good. It's not bad. It's curling a little bit inside. That might stick inside the host with the hit. And it does. Good result there.
Good result.
It snuck it right behind the guard. Perfect throw.
Yeah, that's good. It counts that other yellow one over there on the edge, but it's behind, so it's behind the tee line.
That's an excellent shot at this juncture of the game in this fifth end.
They're just looking at coming down, and looks like just a little quiet weight shot and push it out the back door.
And the degree of difficulty now.
Yeah, it's a fairly
routine
shot for Andrew. I think you know, it'll hang fairly straight here, and as the weight starts to come off it, you'll start to see it bend a little bit. So
they like the weight.
Yeah.
Burgess, as he's been doing throughout the match, leaning on it.
Just trying to get a little bit extra curl out of it.
And that's not a bad shot. It's an excellent shot there. Good execution there by Gibson. But you can see just a little bit of daylight there on the left edge there. A little bit of daylight, but an opportunity still, though.
So it looks like Kendall's tapping. Basically do the exact same thing that Andrew just did there. Come down, just get it. He'd like to roll a little bit, just a smidge to the underneath that guard a little bit more if he could. Definitely wants to hold a shooter here.
Thompson taking his time.
See the crowd is starting to fill in there. See a few more people getting off work. Coming to watch some great curling here at the Dartmouth Curling Club. So the winner of this entire event of these 8 teams gets to represent Nova Scotia in Saskatchewan. That
is correct. And that's March 3rd to 11th, and that's Regina at the Brant Center. That'll be the Tim Hortons Briar. First thrown here by the skip Thompson. And here it comes. Good line. Sneaks around his own guard. It's the hit and the stick.
A little bit of an inside flop, very little. That rock is slowly moving up towards the button. Looks like Mark is going to try the same thing.
Once again, Saunders clearing the way. As you mentioned, before the skip.
He's the cleaner. So everybody on
constantly cleaning the.
Everybody has little jobs they'll do on the team a lot of times. So you'll have somebody who's watching the clock, make sure that they have plenty time to run for the game. And somebody will be doing the timing. I haven't timed any rocks. I know earlier on it was running about 4 seconds backline to tee.
There's Mark Dacey. His first throw of this fifth end. Burgess once again. Really going to work. He's off. Back on it again.
On off is always a good sign.
Coming around. Coming around.
Looking pretty good coming down the sheet.
Gets the hit. And
a little bit of an outside roll there.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't go to play.
Didn't get it to go to the house, so it sneaks on the edge of the 12-foot. As you can see.
Who shot there? It's hard to tell from our overhead view.
Point, I would definitely say it's Team Kendall's shot in the back of the house there from this vantage point, but the angle that we have is not really directly straight down. But you can just see there. We can get a better angle. But
Mark, you're in a bad spot. We can't see from here.
As he clears away, and it definitely looks like Team Kendall's got the...
I think it is. I think you might be right. I think it's blue.
Absolutely. So, Dacey line 1 for sure.
So Kendall's looking... He'd like to see a bit of a hit and roll in behind that guard, I think. He could bury it in there nice. And even if he's in front of his own, it wouldn't be bad, because if Mark came down to tap it, might get a jam on it and force Mark to his one.
Right.
Ideally, that's what he'd like to do at this point.
So the last throw here. Kendall Thompson. And here it comes.
Just keeping it clean. Don't want to pick up any debris that might be on the ice that came off somebody's shoe or a hair or anything like that.
Line looks good.
Didn't get a lot of curl out of that. It's left it wide open. But I think we're just going to end up, looks like, forcing Mark to one here if our angle view was right.
Yes.
There seems to be a bit of a discussion between Mark and Andrew.
They were talking about that one hanging in the 12.
I mean, I guess there is a double opportunity there.
That's a tough shot from this point.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough shot.
If you can get that hit and roll and knock out that second one, this will be an outstanding double. It'll definitely be the shot of the match thus far.
Thus far, yeah, it could be. As we're...
Does the veteran have it in him, though?
I don't know. I've seen him make some good shots so far this tournament, so we'll see what happens here.
Would he be taking a chance?
It's 1 point. It's early. I mean, obviously he wants to hit. He's got to hit one of them. A complete flash would be really unfortunate, and I don't think you'll see that at all.
No.
But you know, if he got the deuce, that would be nice. If he gave him one, I don't think it's the end of the world at this point. I think the back five you'll see him a little more aggressive. So just a quick look around as he's getting ready to throw his rock. Fleming is up 5-4 after 4 ends of play over Stuart Thompson. Murphy is up 5-1 after 4 ends. And Stevens is up 3-1 after 4 ends.
And here comes the last shot. Dacey with the hammer on the 5th.
So nice quiet wait here. He's trying to get a little bit of a curl. See what happens here. Looking pretty good, I think.
It's the hit. And try to creep that over there. So the idea was there.
It was there. I don't think, so I don't know if they're going to have a measure here. Definitely one yellow. And, well, they didn't even really look at it, so they must have knew. So we'll have to wait till they put the score up for sure, but I'm going to anticipate it was 1.
I definitely would say it was 1 from my vantage point. I'm going to take I want to take the lead here and say it was 1 for sure from what I could see there with the naked eye, with the magic of television.
So, and I don't think we're going to get the score here. They're going into the 5th end break, and I think they're all coming down the sheet, so we might have to wait till after the 5th end break to update the score.
Okay, folks, but we're going to step aside. It's the 5th end break here, and Sheet D between these two teams. We'll be right back. Stay with us. You're watching the 2018 Nova Scotia Men and Women's Provincial Championships here on 5TV1. Welcome back inside the Dartmouth Curling Club for the 2018 Nova Scotia Men's and Women's Provincial Championships. We are here on Sheet D. Team Kendall Thompson and Team Dacey in the 6th end. After the 5th end break, Vince Williams and Chris Mosier here at the Dartmouth Curling Club. Both of these teams, there's been some outstanding shot making by both of these teams, and I would think that is going to carry over in the next few ends, Chris.
Oh, I think so. I think you're going to see more rocks in play in the back half of the game. I don't see any big chances, and then we can update the score because they literally just put it up.
Right.
So it's 3-2 for Dacey.
So getting the one in that 5th.
Yeah. So I don't think you'll see any big chances, but I think you might see a little bit more pressure put on the teams to make some a little more finesse shots, maybe.
Both of these teams coming into this match at a undefeated 2-0. So something we'll have to give in this matchup here on Sheet D.
So Mark just threw up a center guard just short of the rings, and then Kendall Thompson just put up a corner guard. So game on.
A little bit of a different strategy.
Maybe, yeah.
Used to seeing in the first
So
5 ends.
Mark is tapping another guard, a little higher guard. So Mark looks like he might be trying to seal this end.
Leading 3-2.
And
Thompson has the hammer.
Just looking. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just looking over there at the Stevens McDougall game. He just looks like he got another deuce. So it's 5-1 for Stevens after the 5 ends of play. Nice high guard there. Doesn't want to group them too close, so
trying to avoid that double.
play. Yeah. So looks like Kendall's looking at playing a tap back on his own. Just to push it back a little bit. See how that goes. Just watching it coming down the sheet now.
Line's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Starting to curl a little bit. It's all going to come down to the weight.
It's got to get past that yellow high guard there.
Oh, it's coming around. It's coming around, and a little bit of rub there. So he lined him up perfectly. yeah.
So got another tap back maybe later on or come around. I thought he was playing the come around, but it just, I don't know if it didn't curl as much as he anticipated, or and the weight might have been down a little bit as well. So
Halfway down the sheet, it looked like it was going to come around, but
Mark's going to try to get rid of those corner guards and kind of roll to the center. Mark wants to keep the center of the play to the center of the sheet as much as he can.
this is the first throw for Steve Burgess.
Mark would like to get the hammer back, and so he's going to definitely try to force Kendall into taking a point here.
Gets the hit, gets both of them.
Pretty
and
good
that's
shot.
A pretty good shot there by Steve Burgess. I've been pretty impressed by Burgess' shot-making ability and the sweeping in this match.
Yeah, he's a very good player. And he's been around as well. Like, I know he's from New Brunswick, but I'm just looking at the bio they give us here on, and now I can't find it. Oh, here it is, sorry. He's a junior New Brunswick champion, provincial champ with Dacey. So he's been around.
He knows what it's like to be on the podium.
Exactly.
Top of the podium, that's for sure.
Yeah, and these pressure shots, and still early, and the pressure's, this looks like a good shot here coming down the sheet.
Excellent shot down the sheet as he can just sneak this behind the double guard. It's a good shot, though. A little bit of a daylight there, though. You can see.
Not a lot from this angle, no. I don't know if does he have a run back there, the yellow onto the blue, or?
That would be a difficult shot to get that run back and splitting his own rocks. But you never know. What do you think he's going to play on this one?
I don't know. He's kind of tapping that one up there. Might be looking at it.
Well, we're definitely going to see if Steve Burgess is up to the task. He's being asked to execute a very difficult play right now.
He's just he's not. It looks to me like he's not actually going to make a play on the blue one. He's just going to raise that yellow one that's there. He just tapped the back of the forefoot.
Right.
So just raise that yellow one that's wide open there, just back a little bit to be shot rock. Shrinks down the scoring area a little bit.
And here it comes. Final throw for Steve Burgess.
Andrew's working on it pretty hard, and well, I don't think he got the curl on it he was hoping, because he just kind of came down. He was trying to go right by it, but you know, that's not a bad shot either. So kind of push the blue one, or the blue one, a little bit farther over. It's still pretty buried. It looks like Kendall Thompson's going to try to come down behind that yellow one there, that guard.
And the first throw of this sixth inning for Lavelle.
Boys are working this one pretty hard.
Really leaning on it. Maybe a little light, but that's not a bad shot. So we really got a mess going on right now.
Oh, we do, yeah. It's I'm pretty certain he had tapped to go behind that. Maybe I missed that. Mark is definitely tapping to go behind. So by putting that blue one up there, kind of makes the run backs a little bit harder. So Mark's taking a little bit more ice. Going to try to come down behind that those two staggered guards there.
And this will be the first throw for Andrew Gibson in his sixth inning. That's what he's trying to do, and here it comes.
Definitely got to throw this to the sweeper so you can get that curl on it. It's hanging pretty straight over there. There it goes. They're starting to go hard on it now.
And just sneaking in there. That's not a bad shot there by Gibson, but it definitely looks like
I think blue is shot still.
Blue is definitely shot
Yeah.
from this vantage point. Like half the rock there. Gibson's rock in the forefoot.
So it looks like he's just trying to come down and sit on it. Maybe a little tap of some sort, but very quiet weight shot. Boys are working on, not terribly hard, but just trying to keep it a little straight. I think he'd like to get a little nudge to the inside if he could. And again.
Oh, and he moves that. Jeez, I think he might have moved that in the...
I think yellow shot now.
Now yellow. So.
That's I mean, it's not bad because he's in front of it, so he can always kind of tap it later, right? It's pretty close.
And it's safe to say both of these teams aren't looking for a blank end there, Chris.
I don't think we're going to get a blank end this time. There's a lot of rocks in play. We got 4 guards and 4 in the ring. So
after the fifth end break, the strategy definitely was to be a little bit more aggressive from both sides in this sixth end. Very important end. As Team Dacey leading 3-2, but Team Thompson does have the hammer. Gibson's last throw in the sixth end.
So Mark just tapped. He was looking for a guard here. Curling's kind of like chess on ice, right? They're always trying to watch what the other team is doing. If you could get in the mind of the other player, right?
Yeah. I make my move, now it's your move. That was a pretty good shot there by Gibson.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Great execution.
So I'm not sure. Looks to me like Kendall Thompson's looking at yellow on the blue on the yellow. We'll see if that's what he called here. Sometimes it'd be nice if we could hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at mouth or lip reading, so.
Bryce Everett's shot here coming. Gets the hit.
So didn't get the run back, but that's if you're going to get a miss, if you want to call that a miss, and I wouldn't even call that a miss, that's a pretty good result there.
Right.
So he did clip the other blue one going by.
As you can see a shake of the head through the house there on the screen. Bryce didn't look happy about that result.
No, he didn't, no. So he's going to throw up another guard. That's one lonely blue rock there, right?
Definitely looks, yellow's definitely lying too.
Yes, for sure, yeah. So
Team Dacey throwing the yellow rocks if you're just joining us, folks.
Mark's going to throw up a guard here, I think. Doesn't want to line him up too much, so he gives the opportunity to do the run back.
First throw, sixth in for Mark. Here it comes. Line looks good. Saunders leaning on it though.
Trying to get a little more curl. He wants to leave that guard nice and high like that, so he takes away any run back opportunity.
And Dacey gives a nod of approval.
I think that was a pretty good shot. If you're Team Dacey, you're liking what you're seeing right now, right?
Definitely looking for that steal too here in the sixth end. So lots of discussion, I would think, in this thinking. I would think that Team Thompson's definitely going to use some of that thinking time.
So he's looking here to see if he's got something out front that he can run in there to try to clip that blue one and push it onto the yellow one there. Or maybe even just open it up. Open it up wouldn't be the end of the world either, right? Leave him with something for his last shot.
Yes. So this is probably the first time that we've seen some lengthy discussion.
A little bit of lengthy discussion, yeah. We're looking at some options there. I mean, he's looking at that blue one. He likes that blue one out there, or maybe the yellow one. Unfortunately, you never really like running another team's color in on your own, and especially when it's not angled. So I think he's just looking at trying to come up with a way to open that center up a little bit. And if he could get rid of a couple of those guards out front, he might give him a way to get in for his last shot to get his one, right?
So this is a setup. Setup for that last shot.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what it's looking like here right now.
Pivotal part and strategy of this game right now between these two teams. Kendall Thompson, the skip, with his first stone. Team Dacey leading 3-2 in this third draw. Both of these teams coming into this one undefeated. Sheet D. Thompson's first throw. And here it comes.
Got a little bit of heat on this one by the looks of things.
It's got a curl. Just sneaks by, gets the tap and the roll, but it's the roll for the opposite way. So total disaster right there.
Was not what he was looking for there, no. I think he needed to come up a little bit more. He was anticipating maybe a little bit more curl.
And if there was any type of opening in this game, this one is wide open right now for
it definitely
Team
sitting
Dacey.
in Mark's favor a little bit more right now than it is Kendall's. But we'll see what happens here. It's Mark's trying to look at all the different options to so Kendall doesn't have something to raise in there.
They're definitely taking their time talking this one over. That is Team Dacey. As it looks like everybody's involved in his team in making this decision in this final throw.
So
they're leading 3-2, but they don't have the hammer, but they're lying 3 in the house.
Mark is looking at throwing up a guard there and kind of tap maybe halfway. They're still talking about it right now. Halfway, just off the center line to the, I guess, the your left as you look at it.
Now, with this lengthy discussion between all four of these teammates, it all ultimately comes down to the decision of the skip.
Yeah, so Marco, usually every team has at least one player on the team, or maybe two, that'll give some input. May not even necessarily be the other guy in the third in the rings. So it looks like he's getting some information there from Burgess, what he likes.
Right.
And, you know, at the end of the day, Mark is the one throwing the shot, so he has to feel comfortable throwing it. And we'll see what he looks like he's picked. But I think he tapped just a high guard there, just to the left, trying to. I think what he's trying to take away is any sort of a run back or. From this angle, it almost looks like there's a port there. You can go right through to get to the blue onto yellow.
The high much of a risk is getting to that blue. Does he need to necessarily get to that blue stone?
Who, Kendall? Or
Dacey.
Dacey? He definitely like to make that hole smaller.
Right.
The hole, looking at it from my vantage point, not looking at the camera, looks pretty tiny, but it looks bigger on the TV.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the final throw for Mark Dacey. Here it comes. And they are really working on it right now, Saunders and Burgess.
This one seems to be over curling on him quite a bit, I think. Don't think that's what he was looking for. He didn't want to be on that side, I don't think. I would say that over curled a lot more, yeah, than he wanted to. Because he wanted to be on the other side of that yellow stone. In saying that, there is no easy shot for Kendall to get in there, I don't think either.
So Kendall right now, some desperate times with the final shot here with the hammer and the
Kendall's going to weave that little port there, which
minefield.
I mean, yeah, and I think as long as he can get a piece of that blue, I think it'll go right on to the yellow in there, and I think even that at that point is just to cut Mark down, because I don't think he can get shot enough to out-count that one in the back of the 4-foot. Right now Mark is sitting 3, but we'll see what...
Big moment in this match between these two teams. Final stone of the 6th end. Kendall Thompson trailing 3-2. And here it comes.
Just a bit of a finesse shot. Definitely got to go on this one. Seems to be maybe over curling. Did he get through the hole? Oh, just through the hole. Can he get enough?
He is yelling for it. Gets the hit and the roll.
Beautiful shot.
And that's a beautiful shot. He sneaks it in for the one.
That was a beautiful shot.
Great last shot there by Kendall Thompson, where things look like they were totally undone. You got to say, Chris, that last throw by Dacey definitely was a miss.
A little bit of a missed opportunity. Overcurled on him, left that hole there for Kendall, and
he took advantage
of that hole and went right in there. And that's a bit of a, I'd say that was a nerves of steel shot to me. I don't know, that was a pretty good shot.
That was an outstanding shot, final shot with the hammer for Kendall Thompson. Team Dacey were looking for the steal of 3, lying 3 within the house, and out of nowhere, with the final rock. Jeez, nerves of steel there by the skipper, Kendall Thompson.
Skipper made one there. That was a great shot.
He ties it up. It's 3-3 now in the 7th end. And you can see that a little bit of frustration on the face of Mark Dacey as he made his way down towards the other end.
A little bit, yeah. I think he was, obviously you don't want anybody to miss.
Right.
But he was kind of hoping for that 3, I think.
Definitely a pivotal part of this game in that end. An opportunity to steal 3 and get the hammer.
So Kendall Thompson's first rock here. Looks like they're just tapping out in front of the rings there, just throwing up a guard. Looks pretty good. So
now, if you're Mark Dacey right now, you have that opportunity. How important is it for you to calm yourself down and make sure that you put your emotions back in check? Because that was a pretty emotional end there for both sides.
it was very emotional for both sides. These guys, they've played in so many tight games against, I think, maybe not even necessarily against one another, but against other teams, that they've got a lot of practice at just, you know what, okay, tied up, let's move to the next end and see what we can do here. You know, I'm sure they've got some little trick of the trade that they may know that can make them just regroup, and here we go. And I think Mark's just trying to suck one in there. Looks pretty good.
It's not a bad shot there by the lead, Luke Saunders, in his first throw.
Just in front of the button. A little, probably 3/4 or a little more wide open.
A little bit of space, though, an opportunity for a hit and roll for Jarrett Brown, the lead for Team Thompson, excuse me. They like the weight so far.
It's looking pretty good, I think, coming down.
Coming around, and here it comes.
Little.
Gets the hit, looking for the roll. Not the result that they wanted, as it sticks a little bit on the forefoot there.
So both rocks are wide open now. Mark has the hammer back, so Mark's going to remove this. Doesn't want to group the rocks too much. Doesn't want to set Kendall up for some sort of a double. Luke's second rock of the 7th end here at the Dartmouth Curling Club. The Deloitte 2018 Tankard.
Looking for the hit. Gets it and the stick, so they're line 2 now. In the house.
Kendall's going to try to flop, and he'd love to roll right in front of that rock there at the back of the forefoot.
Looks like they're trying for that shot right now.
You can see there's not a lot of curl in the hit, so there's, I mean, he's taking the middle of the rock and hoping to catch probably a quarter and roll over there. So you just seen him stick his finger up in the air, almost indicating that it's a little bit more weight maybe than Kendall had called for.
This is Brendan Lavelle. Lavelle with the hit, and he sticks it in the 12-foot.
Still in play. Is there a women's draw tonight at 8 o'clock? I'm not sure if we have the, there's the book. I think there's another draw tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. Of course.
Not much of the schedule in the book
here.
No,
it's not. I thought there was.
Profile for sure.
I'll ask Google.
Yeah, Google seems to have all the answers these days.
So there is a girls or ladies draw tonight. One of the spectators is telling me as I'm sitting here. I thought there was.
Do believe at 8 o'clock.
Okay, I'll see what the feature games are. So anybody wants to tune in at 8 o'clock? Oh, right here in front of me. See, I've got a lot of papers, and I'm trying to do it the hard way.
And a hit and roll, and that just peels out for Team Thompson. Team Dacey still line 1 in the house. Mark Dacey looks like he's looking to put a possible guard here. He's looking for the guard.
Is that what he tapped, the guard?
Looks like he's looking for some sort of guard around the one around the forefoot for himself, as Steve Burgess is ready to race out of the hack here.
So the 2 feature games tonight will be Pinckney and Ladouceur and McDermott and McAvoy at 8 o'clock on Bell TV 1. Here we go. Just a little tick.
A little bit of rub there.
And try to roll that in the rings there, maybe?
Got it in the rings, but both of them are definitely wide open and still exposed, but probably not the result they were looking for, but nevertheless, you still have 2 stones in the house. You're forcing a shot from the opposition.
So, yeah, Mark's got the hammer, 2 stones in play. I think it's probably set up a double opportunity here for Kendall. I think right on the nose there might get the 2 of them.
And this is Bryce's first throw. Excuse me, second throw.
Boys are trying to keep this nice and straight.
Evers hits it and sneaks it right behind the guard. Not a bad shot.
No,
there
not
by
a
Bryce
bad
Evers.
shot. So yeah, maybe he wasn't trying to play the double. I thought he was, but he might have got a little more curl. But either way, that's a good result.
Yellow still lying. Yellow is the shooter. Dacey with the hammer. We're all tied here at 3 apiece here in the 7th end. You're just joining us. This is the 3rd draw. Both of these teams coming in undefeated. Vince Williams, Chris Mosher with the call on sheet D. Gibson's first throw in the 7th end.
Boys are working it hard. See, Luke's going to town on her.
Him and Gibson have been putting some heavy work.
Oh, the boys are working hard. I would think by the end of the week, eh? You're starting to get a little sore.
It's not a bad result there.
Not bad. It kind of pushed that blue one a little bit more in the open. Looks like it's still second shot. So, looks like Kendall might be looking to play the back one here. Nice soft weight. Maybe get a little bit of an inside flop, possibly. Boys haven't laid a broom to it yet. Just watching it. See, talking about it coming down the sheet.
Line looks good. Gets the hit and the peel. But it doesn't sneak out of the house. Just
a couple misses here in this
hanging
end.
In the 12-foot there. So, would you say a little bit of an opportunity here for Team Dacey?
A little bit. I mean, it's not...
a little crack.
Little crack. A little bit surprised. I thought he might go after that blue one that was in there, but looks like he's not too concerned over that.
Gibson's final throw.
Well, maybe he's trying to get it coming the other way, I guess.
Like the line, looking for the weight though. Dacey screaming for it. Gets that tap.
That was a beautiful shot.
And rolled. Gibson and hangs on the 12-foot. So now they're line 3.
Line 3 with hammer. It's a good place to be in.
So back-to-back opportunities for Team Dacey. Can they take advantage of them? Or can Team Kendall, Thompson, salvage one here and take away that opportunity? He did in the 6th. He's going to have to do it in the 7th as well, Chris.
Oh, he doesn't have hammer this end. So we'll see what happens. Just a bit of an update. So Stuart Thompson got a deuce in the 6th end, so he's up 7-5 over Mike Fleming. And in the 6th end, Power got 1, so it's 6-2 for Murphy. And it's no update on between Stevens and McDougall. It's still 5-1 after 5 ends.
Here's the first throw.
Got some heat on this one. Trying to get a double out of this.
It's coming. Gets the first and just misses the back. Oh, second one. So you see, he was looking for the double.
He was looking for double, possibly even a triple out of that too.
Yes,
he just clipped the back.
It
needed to come up, I think, a little bit more.
That would have been an outstanding shot there by Kendall Thompson. His first throw in this 7th end. He made an outstanding throw in that 6th end to steal the 1 as Team Dacey were lying 3, and they're calling a timeout here. They really want to talk this over.
Yeah, so this is the first timeout. Each team gets 2 timeouts. Each one's 90 seconds. So this will be the first timeout by Team Dacey. Team Dacey's got 12:26 left in the 7th end, so we're okay for time. It's close.
But it's crucial. 7th end, crucial. Yeah. The 6th end, they had an opportunity to break it open and get the hammer back. And now they have the hammer in the 7th end. Now they really want to take their time, talk their strategy over, and make sure that they make the right shot.
Yep, Mark wants to make sure he puts it somewhere where he's not setting up any double opportunity for Kendall Thompson. So he's trying to look at some different options. You know, he doesn't necessarily want to come behind that corner guard that's there because that could be in favor of Kendall. So he's probably going to go to the wing somewheres. Just put it in a key spot where there's no double opportunity. Luke's out cleaning again.
Along with Burgess as well. Both of these guys have done an outstanding job for Team Dacey in this match. Cleaning away. Trying to clear it away, that is. For the skip. Mark Dacey. Line 2 here. The 7th end with the hammer. As he's preparing for his first throw. Taking his time, going through his pre-throw ritual.
Mark's one of the, I wouldn't say the last few, but you see the younger curlers, they don't lift the rock anymore. He was probably taught like that as a junior, and it stuck with him. Now the juniors, they don't teach them to lift it anymore. A little less mechanics, but it works for Mark quite well. You can look at his resume and show that don't change if it's working for you.
Yeah, an outstanding resume, and I don't think he would change too much or tweak too much of his game.
No, that's a pretty good shot there.
It's not a bad shot at all. Hangs around in the 12-foot. So it's line 3 now. Decision time.
Decision time for Thompson.
Kendall Thompson is. Him and Bryce Everest having a long conversation about what they want to do with their last throw.
So it's a couple opportunities. It's a hard double there, I think, to get and hold your shooter is the problem. And I think what Stewart wants to do is he wants to hold his shooter, so he wouldn't mind hitting something, maybe rolling in behind that center guard, ideally. I don't know. You could try to play some sort of a freeze, but the rocks aren't ideal to set up for a freeze, so it looks
Lots
like
of
he's
spacing.
Yeah, so it looks like he's kind of tapping that one that Mark just threw, and then a little bit of an inside roll behind his own.
Run that one back.
Well, trying to get behind that blue guard that's out there to make force Mark to a hard shot. See, in the 7th end, McDougall got 1, so it's 5-2 for Stevens after 7. This is
Thompson now.
Yeah, his last rock.
Preparing for the final throw. Crucial moment in this match. And here it comes.
Those are working out pretty good.
Bell and Brown leaning on it. They're going.
I thought he had tapped to play the hit and roll, but I don't know if it overcurled a little bit on him because
it might be a little bit of a miss there.
Well, a little bit. I mean,
still an opportunity to get 3.
Still an opportunity.
For
yes.
Dacey.
Yeah, this is Mark's last rock coming up here, so
it's pretty wide open there.
He could hit this on the nose. I'm pretty certain he was tapping, unless he changed the shot and I missed it, to play the hit and roll. So Mark's got maybe a little bit more ice than Kendall had taken. So we'll see what happens here. And maybe they got fooled a little bit how much curl it was with the down weight. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, opportunity for sure for Mark Dacey. And Here it comes. Dacey looking for 3 in the 7th. And he is roaring right now, looking for the line. The line looks like it might be a little bit off. It needs to curl. Sneaks in just a little bit of a brush. And it's rolling out the back. And wow.
Steal of 1.
Wow, a steal of 1 after it looked like Mark Dacey was setting himself up for 3. And total disaster on that last throw.
A little bit, unfortunately, yeah. I just didn't seem to come like he expected it to.
The line was
Kendall seemed to get a little bit more out of his, and they were pretty close on the weight. But, yeah, that was really unfortunate for Mark. He was set up pretty good there to get a 3-under and ended up giving up a steal. So
a steal for Thompson in the 7th. Total shift of momentum in this one. Back-to-back ends where it looked like Dacey were going to at least get 5, if not 6.
Well, and if you had the 2 ends together, yeah, for sure. So
total disaster throw in that final throw for Dacey, but still lots of curling left, an opportunity for him to regroup and try to settle things down.
Yeah,
it's only a 1-shot lead.
It's only exactly. So yeah, I mean, you're not going to. It's a little bit rattling to unfortunately give up a 3-under, but Mark's been around long enough that he's gonna play cautious. 1 point, and this game is a long way from over yet.
Right, and we talked about it, and going from that 6th end to the 7th end after having that opportunity, how important it was for him to calm his nerves and make sure that he keeps his composure. And right now is a very important time for composure.
Oh, yes, for sure. Mark coming out to help with this one.
Yeah. Just trying to sneak it over the line here.
Yep, just anywhere's over. Nice high guard.
But on the flip side, if you're Kendall Thompson, you can't allow your emotions to get too high as well. You need to stay focused as well throughout this match, even though you escaped disaster in back-to-back ends.
Well, Kendall made an amazing shot there in the 6th end to get his 1. And a little unfortunate with the last one in the 7th. So, but, still got the back one, and unfortunately Mark missed, and he ended up stealing 1. So he's probably feeling pretty good right now, I would think, because he escaped a little bit there. Makes for good watching.
I tell you what, the drama is very high out on the sheet right now between these two teams. For the folks at home, and if you're just joining us, you can cut the tension with a knife. This one has been a dandy. 4-3. Kendall Thompson leads in this 8th end, and we have had some fireworks and back-to-back ends in this one.
I think it looks like over on sheet B, Kendall's brother Stewart might have broke that one open a little bit. 9-5 after 7 ends. So the two brothers are both up, and they're both not. At least they're not playing one another. So if you're a parent or a sister or a sibling of some sort watching, maybe a little less stress.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely some stressful times though. The 6th and the 7th end of this match between Dacey and Thompson, from both sides, I would say.
I always thought it was hard playing, being out on the ice and being out there. But then I sat behind the glass and I was coaching and being a parent, and it's way harder. That's the easy part, is out there playing. Having some discussions here, what they want to do here. Kendall's got 2 rocks in play, one in the top 12-foot and one at the back of the 8-foot.
And this is Brendan Lavelle.
So looks like he's playing a hit on the yellow based on the weight he's throwing here.
Brendan looks good. Lines go just clipped.
Oh,
that guard there, so
pushed it over a little bit, but
little over curl.
looking to hit and just kind of flop in front there a little bit.
So Burgess now, and see what Mark Dacey does on this one.
Looks like Mark is trying to get that blue one on the 12-foot there. He just tapped back line weight. So the boys are just watching this one come down. Haven't really laid a broom to it. A little bit of cleaning. Looking for a little bit of movement here.
Line's not bad. Gets the hit. Gets it through the house. So
pretty
not
good.
a bad shot. Not a bad shot at all there.
Not bad, not bad. He's got two rocks up in the top of the 12-foot. Kendall's going to try to clip this and roll behind that corner guard at this point. Sometimes as the game goes on, you get into that 8th, 9th, 10th end. Sometimes the pebble might start to break down, or the weight ice will change a little bit based on the outside temperature. Sun's going down. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it could be a little bit of change. Tracy Froud's the ice maker here, and he's been working a great job making amazing ice here for these guys. So,
Lavelle with back-to-back clips.
It almost seems like it's starting to curl a little bit one way and not so much the other way, right?
So that's, I don't know if I want to call it, I'm not sure if it's much of a miss because there's still a lot of stones to be put in play
exactly,
here,
but that's not what he was trying to. He was definitely trying to get a bit of a roll over behind that guard, so that was a little unfortunate.
And he's been playing pretty solid. That second, Brendan Lavelle for Team Thompson, and here's the final stone for Burgess, the second for Team Dacey.
I think that might have just picked. It just seemed to go sideways on him.
And he hits his own stone, rolls it, and is that going to stay in? And that rolls out of the house, but they're still lying two at the top of the 12-foot.
Can't see it here on the camera, but there's three guys in the middle of the sheet cleaning the center of the sheet there. So
seems to be something.
I don't know if that one had a pick there right down the middle, or giving a good brush on her. And
interesting. Some interesting throws in this.
It is. He was definitely trying to get that yellow one or blue one in the back. So now it's Kendall's turn again. Let's see what happens here.
This will be the first throw for Bryce Everest.
Just coming out, throwing some heat on this one.
Lots of speed on this first throw. And he gets the hit.
Got the double.
Gets the double.
Can he hold the shooter?
Hold it? Nevertheless, an outstanding shot there.
I think that was
Bryce Everest.
That was going to be a hard shot, I think, to hold the shooter, but that was a nice shot.
Double takeout for Bryce. So there's only one now lying.
One rock in the back of the 12 or 8-foot, and got a corner guard up there. Looks like Mark is trying to come behind that guard again. It's be interesting to see if this follows that same path of the one that picked there. There's definitely a lot of movement coming off that center line. That's going pretty hard right too.
Trying to sneak it behind, and he can't do it.
Wow, there's a lot of movement coming that way. It looked like the weight was pretty close on that. So
yeah, a lot of discussion at the center line right now, as you can see. Burgess and Gibson. Burgess is kind of beside himself. Sorry, Gibson. Little miff there as his hands on his hips and trying to get some answers here. Both teams looking for answers. If there's some uncharacteristic misses by both sides, but let's see which team takes advantage of those misses.
Well, let's see here. We're just trying to come down here. This one's starting to go sideways as well. I think this one's got plenty of room though. It's going to get by. He wants to just get probably top 12 a little bit.
Gets it in there.
Just bury a little bit behind that guard, and I think that was a pretty good shot by the looks of things.
Not a bad shot at all. Based on what has happened in this end, it's not a bad shot at all.
No, not bad. Just about half buried. Mark is kind of looking at playing the freeze on that back rock in the back of the, just the middle of the 8 foot, I guess. Let's see if Andrew can get this one in here.
Gibson with his final throw. Trailing 4-3 here in the 8th. Coming around. They're good for the weight. They're just looking for it to curl just a little bit here.
I think it's looking pretty good the way it's settling in there.
And that is an outstanding shot there, right around the button.
Oh, that was
Beautiful
a really
shot
nice
there
shot
from Gibson on his final throw, and he is pumped. You can see it on his face there, a little in and out of that camera shot as he came down the sheet. Quite happy with that result. Quick discussion between him and the skip, Mark Dacey. As you can see on the screen, was an outstanding shot there. Final throw by Gibson. As the tension definitely starting to get a little bit high here. If it hasn't already from the previous 2 ends, it's definitely high right now. As we are in the 8th, Team Dacey trailing by 1, 4-3. But they do have the hammer.
Kendall's first stone.
Thompson has been pretty solid in the last few ends for his team. Decision making and shot making. This is his first throw, and here it comes.
Trying to keep this fairly straight here. See, it's hugging that center line.
Gets it around.
Oh,
nice
beautiful
hit.
little pick there. Just to pick that out. So this leaves Mark with the same shot. So Mark, different thrower than Andrew, right? A little bit different. So he'd like to, I think he'd like to come down almost and sit on it a little bit.
Kendall looking for the double steal here and back-to-back ends. Lion 2. So the experience of Mark Dacey is definitely going to be put on the forefront right now, Chris.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mark's looking to make a good shot here. So
taking his time, going through his pre-throw ritual.
So it looks like we have our first final over here on sheet C. Looks like Murphy is a winner over Power. This is Mark's first one coming down the sheet here. Boys are on off. On off's always good.
Dacey chasing the rock all the ways down to the house. As you can see, this is very important right now.
Wants to lock that right on there, and that was beautiful.
Beautiful shot there by Dacey as he chased that throw all the ways to the house, Chris.
He was right down. You can see the passion in his, I don't think the microphone's on the sheet, but we can hear him here yelling out on the ice. So
you could see the emotion in his face as he's talking to himself. And he's happy with it, but he was chasing it all the ways down from end to end. He was right there.
He was right behind him. So this is Kendall's last. Kendall elected to freeze right on top of that one Mark shot through.
And here it comes. Thompson looking for the freeze. Lavelle and Brown on and off. Coming around. It's coming.
It's coming. Might be a little warm. It's got to come a lot, though. Get over there.
It's got the curl. The line's there. Does it have the weight? Excellent shot.
Beautiful
there
shot
by Kendall Thompson.
That was great. So the force is on for Mark. Mark's no way to remove those. So he's just going to come down, sit on top of it again, take his one, move on.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, Kendall Thompson has come to play.
Yeah, they both skips have come to play. That was a good shot by Mark.
That's 3 great shots, though, for Kendall Thompson. In
great
3
feeling.
straight ends. He's been doing an outstanding job. Now it's Mark Dacey's turn to match. Dacey, final throw, 8th end with the hammer. trailing 4-3.
There you go, Luke, and is going hard on it. Oh, they're off now, on and off.
Dacey not chasing this one down. Good line from here, though. It's got to come a little bit more. Got to come over a little bit more. And bang! Does it.
Does he get it?
Sneaks it right in there side the button. So back-to-back shots by both of these skips as Dacey picks up the one, but he had to work for it.
Oh, he worked hard. That was a good shot. Tied up again after 8 ends. Couldn't ask for a better viewing game. 1-1-1-1, except for the first 2 ends, first 3 ends. Yeah. So great viewing game. We're sliding in here to the 9th end. So this is that time of the part where Kendall's got the hammer. So let's see what Kendall does here. Is he going to try to blank this end, or, you know, be nice to have the hammer coming home. So Mark is not going to want him to blank for sure.
Mark's probably going to play a little bit aggressive here, but cautiously
aggressive. Doesn't want to give him a mittful, but if he could force Kendall into having to take one here, Mark having the hammer coming home, that'd be great.
This is Saunders' first throw in the 9th. Folks, if you are just joining us, you're in for a furious finish, as we've had some great shot making by both of these teams, especially in the last 3 ends.
Yes, the last 3 ends have been great curling.
Saunders puts up the guard there.
Kendall's elected to come in behind.
And it looked like in the last 3 ends, the opportunity was there for Team Dacey to break this wide open.
Had a couple of unfortunate miss there in the 7th.
And then great shot making by the skip Kendall Thompson on his last few shots. Was able to keep it where we're at right now for
Dacey. For sure. In that the sixth end there, that shot that he made was amazing. So great game. And this is a really good shot by the lead here.
Nice shot. Too bad we didn't have replays. We could go
exactly. That's what we need, the replays.
We could break down shot for shot, and the folks at home and the folks that are just joining us will get a sense of what we are talking about. Yeah. But nevertheless, it's an outstanding play between these two teams. Both of these teams came into this match undefeated at 2 games apiece. 2-0 they are. This is the 3rd draw for both of them. Things are getting a little bit tense here in the 9th. Second throw. Final throw for Saunders, Team Dacey. And that's not a bad throw. A little bit of rub.
A little bit of rub, just sliding to the back of the 8-foot. Don't think that was quite what he was looking for.
Looked like he wanted a little bit more contact on.
Yeah, maybe just to push it a little more in the open, or even an angle freeze wouldn't have been bad. So Kendall's going to just try to hit this, make it go away. He doesn't want any catchers out there in the back. So in the 8th end over here between Stevens and McDougall. McDougall got a deuce, so it's 5-4 for Stevens after 8 ends of play.
This is a good line, good weight, gets the hit, and stays in the house. Just on the edge of the 12-foot there, a little bit more of the 8th. So line 2. Kendall Thompson, and he does have the hammer in this 9th end. A very pivotal game between these two teams. Tied up 4 apiece. Both teams not really able to take advantage of the mistakes, but some outstanding shot making in the final throws put us where we're at.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So Mark's just going after that wide open shot. Just hit it.
Burgess with his first throw. Good line.
Good line. Looks like a pretty good shot here coming up.
Yeah, not bad. Outstanding execution right there.
Over in the between Stuart Thompson and Fleming. Fleming got 1 in the 8th, so it's 9-6 for Stuart Thompson going into the 9th. So these remaining games are all pretty close here. Drop down and see us here at the Dartmouth Curling Club at 15 Canal Street.
Lots of tickets available. It's single entries, only $5. And if you want a weekend pass, it's $30.
That's not bad.
Not bad
Where
at
can
all.
you watch better curling than this for that price? I got some spectators out on the ice there during this game.
5 TV1, that's about it.
Well, that's true. Well, you don't get to see all 4 sheets.
Exactly.
So,
But you'll give them the update.
we will give you random updates, and if you can't get your updates in if I'm not giving you updates as quick as you want, please go to NS Curl,
Yes.
and you can see the scores on there. They're updated. Kendall just hit it, and now Stewart's hitting, trying to get an inside roll.
That's not a bad shot. That's an outstanding shot. As he gets the thumbs up from the skip, as you can see, that's very close. Shot rock there. Looks like it might be the advantage to the yellow.
Could be. It's behind the tee line, so ideally you'd like to be in front of the tee line. But you know what? A rock's a rock, so he's going to try to come down there. He was tapping kind of backline weight, so just to move it a little bit, if he could, just to push it back. That's what Kendall's looking for here.
Here's Brendan LaBelle. Bell trying to bounce back from.
Boys haven't touched this one at all.
Good touch. Looking for the weight now. Line is coming around. He might have missed this, and he totally misses it. So not a good shot there by Brendan Lavelle. As I mentioned before he let this one go, trying to bounce back from that 8th end where it looked like he wasn't really on his game in his 2 throws, and
could be, yeah.
A bit of a crack of an opening here for Team Dacey.
A little bit. The boys are out cleaning the sheet again, so I don't know if it's a couple picks here or hanging straight, so everyone's cleaning, so I'm not sure if there's something going on there that we're not aware of, but a little bit more weight maybe than Mark had asked for. Mark had tapped back line, so I think he was more like hack weight, so didn't get that curl maybe as much as he wanted.
Right. And here's Gibson. His first throw.
Burgess is going to town on it.
Saunders and Burgess have done an outstanding job sweeping in this match, and they have leaned on the brush. As you mentioned several times, these guys are getting the workout.
They are.
And that's a good shot there. He sneaks around that guard. Gibson with his first throw. As we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here.
Looks like Kendall's trying to come around again.
First throw by Bryce Everest. This 9th end.
Just a little, just in front of that. Anywhere's, or even set it up that he couldn't hit it and drive it into the yellow one would be ideal. So boys haven't touched this one again. It almost seems like it might be a little warm again.
Well, here it comes.
That's a long way out there.
Miss, and he goes right through the house, back-to-back misses. Uncharacteristic. Now we talked about the nerves and the tension. Now you got to think that if some nerves have to come into play. I know the guys are trying to do an outstanding job at the center line, but you still got to make the shots.
Could be heart's pumping a little bit more, right? You might that little little bit of adrenaline, a little bit of an extra push, and could be, it's hard to say. A little unfortunate. Never like to see a miss.
No, absolutely not.
But definitely a little bit of favor here going towards Mark here going into the 9th end. So Anders,
Gibson's last stone.
Yeah, he definitely wants to leave this a little high, kind of block that path. This one just keeping it clean here. Got a lot of rocks come down this path, and sometimes after a series of rocks come down, the ice starts to warm up, so that rock will slide a little farther. That's a pretty good shot.
Shot.
No, that block.
Not a bad shot at all there by Gibson.
So that's going to force...
Two solid throws there by Gibson.
Yeah, no, that's going to force Kendall to come out a little bit farther. So a little different path, possibly, than what he had before. But, you know, there's still lots of room to score there for Kendall. It's going to be...
Needs a good shot, though.
Needs a good shot, you're right.
Everest trying to rebound from the last throw. Here it comes.
So the boys are on this one right out of his hand. It's nice ice to sweep on because you can drag the rock quite a ways. It's just as long as it doesn't overcurl on him. It's starting to go. It's starting to go sideways. I think it might be on the guard. Is it on the guard?
It's coming. It's coming around. It's going to be a little short and up against the yellow guard. So
it's a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
A little unfortunate.
Yeah. So probably not the shot that Bryce was looking for.
No. Especially yellow's line one. So Mark's got one in there now. So, you know, he's going to... Kendall doesn't really want Mark to steal here.
No.
But it wouldn't be horrible if Mark got one because that would give Kendall the hammer coming home, right? So you can see Andrew's out even a little bit farther now. We're slowly getting out. So that ice out there, once you get out there into that 12-foot area, sometimes it might get a little heavy.
Right.
So you got to watch that. So that I guess the mind thought is to give it that extra little bit of a push and see what happens. But, you know, Mark's been in this situation probably more than I can put on my two hands.
I would imagine. Dacey with his first throw in this ninth inning. Here it comes.
Boys are just keeping it clean, going down the sheet.
Likes the weight. Is it going to come around, though?
Definitely by the top guard. Lots of room there.
Slowly. So let's stay in.
So he's going to push that back. He doesn't want anything for Kendall to kind of come off and roll into that button, right? So,
as you mentioned several times throughout this match, you always need to be able to draw to the button. Got to have that in your back pocket.
Got to have it in your back pocket, and Kendall might need it this end.
I would say so. Looking at what's happening here in the house, all the activity.
So these guys are watching one another pretty closely with stopwatches and weight and time to watching exactly where they're throwing it and the release to try to find that perfect spot because he wants to just basically skim that blue guard and sit right in there behind all that junk.
And here comes Kendall Thompson, his first throw in this ninth inning.
Kendall's made some good shots here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get another one.
He is chasing this rock all the ways down to the house. Lavelle,
looks like
Brown going to work.
Looks like it's going to get by easy, so just got to get it to bend. Well, he's going hard on it. You can see it's starting to bend.
Yeah, and that is a good shot there as he sneaks it in the 4-foot.
That's a really good shot.
Got to be happy with that result. But now the pressure's totally back on Dacey. Dacey's definitely got to get that out of there.
So, I'm just reading some texts coming in. They're kind of funny. At least nobody's complaining. Oh, we're getting a timeout here.
So
Mark's calling a timeout.
I'm going to talk this one over as Mark Dacey.
Mark is trying to figure out, he'd like to somehow come up and remove that. He has to be very careful if he was to remove it that it doesn't drive it back onto that yellow one in the back. Because that would, if you move that yellow one at all, I think blue would be sitting 2 there. So, because there's not a lot of difference in those two, the yellow and the blue at the top and the back of the 8-foot.
So Mark definitely thinking that this is a crucial moment of the match as he takes his second and final timeout. Lengthy discussion between him and Gibson on the final throw.
Andrew's kind of looking at maybe coming in the other side of the sheet, the left-hand side of the sheet. Because unless you could, the one on the right, the blue one on the right, unless you can get to the inside or straight back, you're going to jam on that yellow one. You don't want to come anywhere close to that, because you give up a 3-ender here. I got a feeling it could be, I'm not saying over, but it's going to be tough to get that in the last end.
So, decisions.
So as they're doing it, they're finishing their timeout here. It looks like they blanked the 9th end between Stuart Thompson and Mike Fleming. So it's still 9-6 coming home for Stuart Thompson. And it looks like they made a decision here. It looks like Mark's going to come in. Well, I thought he was coming in the right-hand side, but maybe not.
Lots of anticipation here, not only by the players, by the crowd as well. Inside the glass here, and as well as out on the sheet, they're standing up. I'm not sure if they're standing up for both sides, but it looks like they're looking at sheet D for sure. It's the closer match.
Yeah, there's a lot of people starting to gather around us here, which is always good.
Dacey with his final throw.
Final throws, trying to come in here, sit shot.
And here it comes.
So this is complete other side of the ice. Really would like to get shots down out of this. Luke is really going to town trying to hold this straight. I don't know. I think it's over curling on him. Oh, I think it's late.
Right there.
Pretty certain he wasn't trying to put it there.
What do you think about that one?
Well, that's
it's
a little light, but the problem is how does Kendall get in to get a second stone there? Because by putting it there, that kind of eliminated that other side of the sheet. And if Kendall comes down and sits on top of his own, will that give him 2? I don't know if we can switch to the overhead shot here. I think if he could get to the inside of it, he can. No, as long as long as there's no outside roll at all, I think he can get his deuce out of it.
It's going to be a tough shot
to
get that deuce.
So right on the nose or anything inside would be bonus. So
he's made 3 outstanding shots. Can he make it a 4th?
So marked by
lengthy conversation between him and Bryce.
Still got Kendall has plenty of time left, 7 minutes, and Mark has 4 minutes, which is more than enough to play the last end.
Kendall still has both of his timeouts. So crucial throw here in this match between these two teams.
Looks like McDougall tied it up in the 9th end, so tie game between Stevens and McDougall coming home.
Thompson
trying to get his second point here.
And here it comes.
Seems to be got to get that inside roll or pretty close to inside. It's coming nice. I think this is looking good.
Gets around the guard. Gets the hit.
And
2.
Wait.
And it did get the double.
He did. He clipped the back one.
Double clipped the back one. It looked like it was going to be disastrous, but he did manage to get the double. And I'm going to say he did, and he did.
So that was a really good shot there.
Gutsy shot.
I thought he was trying to get the inside, but he was trying to tap it back onto the other one. So it looks like he got a deuce here. And just wait till they put the score up for sure, just so we're correct on this. But pretty certain Kendall Thompson got a 2 there.
Wow. Nerves of steel, Kendall Thompson in the last 4 ends. He's made some outstanding shots in his final throw.
Yep, he did get his 2.
The deuce.
It's official.
6-2 coming home.
6-4.
4, sorry. I got ahead of myself. 6-4 coming home. But Dacey has the hammer. Now does Dacey start to really open things up and try to push things, or does he try to? He's definitely not going to be conservative coming home.
Well, he definitely needs the deuce, so he needs. He's going to throw up. Probably going to throw up a guard of some sort, because he's going to want to have something up there to hide behind. Boys are sweeping it here. So
first throw.
So
it's 10th.
Kendall is going to. They were looking to put this right in the ring, so it's a little high. Was looking more for the 4 foot. So Mark is going to put up the corner guard. And by putting up the corner guard, as we've seen there in the, I guess, the first and the third end, that's how he got his deuce. Or that's how the teams got their deuce. So we're looking at following that same format. Anything over the hog line here will be ideal.
Saunders now.
It's a pretty good spot. I think Kendall has really kept these guys in it, because he had a few misses there, a few unfortunate breaks from Kendall's team, but Kendall is just making some really good shots.
Yeah, outstanding play in the last 4 ends by the skip.
That's what he gets paid all the big money for.
That's why he's the skip. But his team has had an outstanding game.
They have played very good, and
made some shots in crucial situations.
And that's the best part of this sport, is that if somebody everyone's going to struggle here and there every once in a while. If somebody struggles a little bit, somebody else picks up the slack.
Exactly.
So, and I guess that's like most sports, but I find curling,
like
it's
every sport.
Yeah,
team sport for sure.
Yeah, maybe not golf. You're struggling, you're in trouble.
Individual sports like golf and tennis, you got to pick yourself up. You can't rely on anybody but yourself on those individual sports. But those team sports, you definitely look to your teammates. And when somebody falters, it's the next guy, next man up to do their job or woman.
So this is Luke's second shot. And Luke is looking to play a bit of a hit and roll here by the looks of it.
Coming down. He's going to work with it there. Burgess and Gibson. And gets the bump and sticks it around the button. Not a bad shot there by Saunders. So you can see, trying to play aggressive here. Get as many rocks in the house on coming home here for Team Dacey. Trying to put the pressure on Team Thompson. Thompson leading 6-4 in this 10th end. His first down. Trying to rebound on the last 2 ends.
He's just trying to remove the yellow stone there. Boom, boom, boom.
Good result.
Perfect shot.
Yeah. He needed that for his confidence.
Yeah, struggled a little bit there, but that was a really nice shot.
That was an excellent shot there by Brendan.
So one of the nice things is that Mark has got a few rocks in play now. So he's got a corner guard. He's got a couple rocks behind the tee line, so he can freeze to these. And ideally, maybe in Mark's favor here a little bit.
Burgess.
Boys haven't touched this one.
They like what they see. They get the end result. It's the one hit.
So just see how he just kind of keeps it around the back there. It's a good little shot there. He was playing a little bump. Thought he might play freeze, but he played a little bump. So Kendall's going to try to remove that. Probably wouldn't hurt his feelings if he took his blue one out in the back there either.
Brendan Lavelle. Lavelle's last throw. Gets the hit.
Rolls it away.
Rolls it away.
Good shot.
So 2 solid throws there by Lavelle. Rebounding after the last 2 ends where didn't quite make the shots he anticipated. Thompson lying 2 in the house, and final throw for Burgess here.
Burgess trying to come around that corner guard there, and that one in the top 12. Seems a little hot, maybe.
Definitely coming. It's coming over.
It's coming down. Looking okay, I think.
Sneaking around.
Mark's looking to bury it a little bit, take it back.
That's not a bad shot there by Burgess.
Not bad at all. Sitting number 2. It's okay. It's a good spot. Nice and buried back there, I think.
First throw coming up here for Bryce Everest. Bryce wastes no time coming out of the hack.
Just coming down, trying to bump that one that Mark just threw there.
Have enough. Trying to sneak around his own stone and just gets it around.
Oh, he kissed it.
Looked like it was coming around and was going to make it through. Nevertheless, though, it sneaks it inside. They're still lying 2 here. Team Thompson, that is. So not the result Bryce was looking for. Nevertheless, they're still lying 2 in the house. Let's go up to Gibson here.
Just looking at a little hit and flop over in front of that yellow one in the back of the 12-foot there. Luke is going pretty hard. You can hear Mark from here.
Dacey barking the instructions. Coming around, gets the hit.
Oh, a little bit of an overcurl there.
So, not the result that either men were looking for, Gibson or Dacey. See a little bit of frustration there to the edge of the screen. And that second one rolled out of the house by Dacey. A little bit of opening here. A slight opening here for Thompson.
Good thing is for Mark is that he's got lots of rocks in play, so he can try to freeze or come around one of those guards there, and he's only got 3 rocks left. He needs two to tie. I think that at this point he's probably playing for the tie and stealing the win in the extra, but we'll see how this goes.
Bryce's last stone. But you gotta like the aggressive play of Team Thompson.
Oh yeah,
they're not standing around waiting for Team Dacey to make shots. They're putting as many rocks inside that house, spread out that is, and not allowing them to give them that double. So if Team Dacey's going to get 2 coming home, he's going to have to come up with some terrific shots here.
So this is a pretty tough shot, forcing Andrew to go way out to the wings, come in from the wing and kind of come in on that back one there. He's got to catch the curl to come back.
Like the weight. We'll have enough curl.
I don't know. We'll see here once we. It's looking pretty good.
Sticks around, looking for the hit. Gets it.
Good shot.
But it hangs on the edge.
I think it's. Is it 3rd shot? I think by the looks of things from the camera angle.
Yes. It's still lying 2. I'm going to say still lying 2 here for Thompson.
So the good thing is the 2 that are actually in play, the 2 blue ones that are 1 and 2, are still kind of wide open. But looks like we got another timeout here.
Yeah, Thompson takes his first timeout.
Trying to decide where what they want to do here.
Definitely want to talk things over.
It's a tough rock to get at. Mark's trying to get him to go after that, kind of trying to suck him in a little bit, hoping that it'll get a little bit of an overcurl or a miss of some sort. So it looks like Stuart Thompson won over Mike Fleming. after 9 ends. They didn't quite finish the 10th end, so final score will be 9 to 6 for Stuart Thompson, and Chad is tied coming home with Brent McDougall. And I think that game will be over very shortly.
2 remaining games here. Sheet D and Sheet E. Coming down. Looks like to the last few shots here. It might come down to the final shot in this one in the feature game between Team Dacey and Team Thompson. Vince Williams, Chris Mosier calling a very exciting game between these two teams, especially after that 5th end break.
Oh, it's been going full tilt. They have been making some really good shots right since the 5th end. And they made lots of good shots in the first 5, but a lot more rocks in play in the back half of the game.
The intensity and the shot making has definitely.
You can tell how much these guys love the sport, the way they're out there yelling, and it's just
we're
really
behind
nice.
the glass, but we can definitely feel the tension and feel the the anticipation of great shot making.
Exactly. So Kendall's coming out of the hack here now. Looks like he's trying to make a play on that yellow one that Andrew just threw.
They like to wait. Do they have the line?
Did that just pick?
It hit something. Yes, absolutely. And it just picked for sure.
That just seemed
wow.
to take right off.
But the result, not bad though. It's still lying 2.
Still lying 2.
Barely lying 2, but it could have been very disastrous. You can see, I can see here from the glass coming down. You can see Kendall Thompson. Man, the look on his face was like.
Oh, he wasn't not happy about that.
No,
so.
But I mean, at the end of the day, they're still in pretty good shape, relatively good shape.
The unfortunate thing, though, was that it pushed over that rock over a little closer, so it set up Mark for the opportunity of a double. And I think if Mark can get a little bit of an inside roll here to the right, he could be covered or buried behind that long yellow guard and the blue one there on the right-hand side. All of a sudden, he's sitting 2.
Wow.
So we'll see what happens here.
Dacey.
Even not to get a roll here and even get the double is not the end of the world here for Mark. So.
No. Here he comes. He is really roaring for it.
He's standing and they stop.
Here it comes.
Did it come? Did it come enough?
Nope. Gets the 1.
That's the 1.
That's it.
That's okay.
Didn't have enough curl there as he hit it straight on. Runs that one out the back of the house, so he's line 1 right now. Final throw coming up here for Kendall Thompson.
Kendall's indicated that he's going to hit and flop just to the right there. And so he wants to spread his 2 blue rocks away a little bit so he doesn't give Mark any sort of a double. If he could just a little bit to the right, that'd be perfect. Definitely wouldn't want to roll to the left.
Here comes Thompson's final rock. It's 10th in, leading by 2.
Doesn't look like he's going to get the inside roll. I don't think he was hoping for.
Get the shot there. Boom, and sticks, bangs that out the back though. Not a bad result. It's going to be a tough double there for Dacey.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll change his handle and come the other direction at it, or really stick with it. So, and then there, between Stevens and McDougall, Chad's just throwing his last rock here. It looks like he's got a hit for the win. And it looks like Team Stevens will win over Team McDougall. 6-5 after 10 ends. Marks has changed the handle. He's going to take the other handle. Looks like this one here might have a little bit more curl, so he almost doesn't want to curl up the nose on this. Just get it on the inside and try to clip the that back blue one as it goes by. Pretty tough shot for the tie and for the extra end.
So here we go. down to the final stone. Dacey looking for the double.
Burgess is going hard on it.
Line looks good.
This looks pretty good, I think. See what happens here.
Here we go. It's one.
Oh, he
Gets
stuffed
two.
it.
Oh, and it stays in the house.
Kendall Thompson will win it after 10 ends.
Gets it done as Dacey almost gets the double there. Tried for it in the final end, coming home as Kendall Thompson with some outstanding shot making in the last 4 ends. Gets the job done, make the final 6-4. Thompson over Dacey. So it came down to the skips, and the skips didn't disappoint.
They didn't. They made some really great shots in the end, and that was a great game to watch. I mean, it was right down to the final. A couple unfortunate breaks for each team, but I think they were pretty even with unfortunate breaks. So great game. And please join us tonight at 8 o'clock to watch
absolutely.
The women play.
There is some more curling action tonight and throughout the week, going all the ways up to the finals here at the Dartmouth Curling Club. But the final afternoon play here on Sheet D, it's Kendall Thompson getting it done, 6-4 over Team Dacey in the 2018 Nova Scotia Curling Provincial Championships, men's and women's. So for Chris Mosier, I'm Vince Williams saying so long, and please stay with us as we are back here on air at 8 o'clock.